video segment, we're going to be talking about our calibrating of our TCM. It's a real common question we have. When we move a receiver from one unit to another unit, we unplug the receiver, so it automatically defaults to that we need to calibrate the TCM. This is basically the level of the combine. So we'll get this warning up. So we'll come into our calibrate our TCM. So we'll come to our menu. We'll go into the receiver. This particular screen is smaller than our large screen. So we want to move our receiver up to the larger screen. So what we'll do there is there'll be this icon for dual displays. We'll push it, and are you sure you want to transfer this application to another ISO display, which is our large screen. So we're going to hit accept on that. All right. So now we come up to our big screen, and now we have our TCM calibration warning up here. It's a lot easier to work with. So now we need to calibrate our TCM. So we're going to go into our menu. Now our receiver's up here, so we're going to go into our receiver. We're going to do something, so it's going to be under the setup tab. So go into our setup, and if you'll notice, down here is our TCM, and here's our calibrate button for it. So we'll push our calibrate button. This screen up here brings up our depiction of what we want to use to calibrate with it. What you want to calibrate is the axle that is rigid to the cab, which is what the receiver is mounted to. In this particular case, we're in a combine, so we want to use our front axle. That is what's rigid to the cab. On our track machines, we want to use our center point of our rear track. Our front wheel, our four-wheel drive tractors, the actual front axle is what's rigid to the cab, so we'd use the front axle. Our front wheel assist tractors, they'll use the rear axle. The one product that's not on this screen is our sprayers. They have independent suspension on those, so you would use all 4-point contact points in that. Today we're in a combine, so we're going to use that reference point. We're on step 1, so we'll park a vehicle on a flat, hard surface, mark a reference line through the fixed axle. That's what we're talking about here. So now we're calibrating the first step. Now we need to mark a reference point in the axle. What I will generally do is I will mark a line along the side of the tire, the front tire, then I will make a T mark out from the center of the axle out to the side. To mark a reference line through our fixed axle, generally what I will do is come out along the side of the machine and I will make a mark along the side of the tire. You can do this in a field if you want to, or lay a board or stick down. And this is our reference point along the side of the tire. And I will mark out from the center of the tire and give us a T mark here. And what this does, this line gives us a reference to get in this correct position. This line will give us a reference to get in this correct position here. Because it's important that we get the tires in exactly the same spot when we reverse the machine around. So that's generally how I will do it, and we'll drive the combine up to this mark and stop it. So now we'll turn this vehicle around, and it's important that we get back in the same track. So generally I will drive straight for a while to lay down a set of tracks. Then we'll turn the machine around. We will drive back into our existing tire tracks. We'll stop on our reference point, and we'll continue to the next step. Machine TCM successfully calibrated. Our warning is gone. We have successfully calibrated the TCM.